My name is Josie Meléndez, and I am here with the lovely cast from Skate Dreams. If you could all say hello.
Hi.
Hi, and if you could all introduce yourself just so our lovely viewers know who you are.
Yeah, I'm Nora Vasconcelos. I'm Nicole Haas. Mimi
Dean from Cambodia.
And of course, I wanted to absolutely congratulate you on this project, on everything that went into it, and also just on premiering a South by Southwest, because you can really tell that a lot of heart and care went into this. So I just enjoyed every second of it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
And of course, there's a real sense of nurture in each interview when talking about expanding the sport for female and non-binary skaters. What did that sense of community mean for you all? Like seeing it from the beginning when we go into the documentary, how when you started up until now, how we see it all shifting. What does that mean to you?
I mean, I think it's just part of our everyday reality. We don't really think of it as like this other thing. It's part of our life. Anyway, that's what I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's very natural the way things have progressed.
Yeah, we're kind of living in it, but also it's cool. Sometimes we get to step back and see really how far it's come and how quickly it's all happening. So it's like we've seen it, through the years and have that sort of perspective, but it's all really positive and awesome to be a part of.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sense of camaraderie, especially starting off the film with Tin when you showed up, and just how going from mentioning how there wasn't a real community to actually finding that community and how you can expand those horizons. What was that like experimenting?
Well, I feel like in the film, beginning with the other group, and it was it's something very impressive, and seeing the other girls skate around and they were cheering to each other, which I think it's so cool, and I want to see and something is happening in Cambodia as well. Yeah.
Oh,
We can't hear
I think
you.
you're muted.
Yeah.
Sorry. I really like the scenes when it went into that teacher-student dynamic, especially that, like many things in life, people may find themselves apprehensive towards the sport out of fear of getting hurt. It's that survival instinct kicking in. What would you tell them to anyone that wants to get into the sport, but they have that apprehension in them?
I'm not really good at it.
Oh, what would you tell someone who wants to get into skateboarding but scared?
Oh, okay. Sometimes life is challenging and we might get some trouble in something, but if somebody want to skate, they should too, it's very interesting. And also if you are afraid to do something small, and so how would you be able to do anything else in life? So doing something that you want and try something that you really love, and it challenge around, but just to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
To make up a life easy and enjoy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think skateboarding is extremely intimidating, but it's also that's the part of it that makes it as rewarding as it is.
Yeah, opportunity to grow with each year through skateboarding, and also translates into your life in other ways too. You learn a lot of qualities through skateboarding and perseverance from the sport that really, is what growing and being part of life is all about. So.
Yeah, especially for you, Mimi, as the U.S. Olympic coach, what has that been like? Has there ever been a moment where you've had to have that conversation where anxiety kicks in for someone and you have to be that kind of parental figure, but also that guidance?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's the majority of the support that the skaters I work with need. And even one of our Olympians, in Tokyo, she was freaking out, and Like, just think of your dog at home. Like, imagine your dog right now, just like, okay. And that just was enough to get through it. But yeah, the mental aspect is really huge. It's important just to like notice the fear and not try to resist against it. Just learn to live with it. And that's kind of how we do what we do.
Yeah, especially diving in a little bit into that act of mental fortitude. What does that process look like for each of you as you've gone and progressed in the sport? Because most of the times, like, it does require sort of mental training as well as that physical training. And usually we don't discuss that internal process as much.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the hardest parts is skateboarding is extremely taxing on your mind and your body. And I find that there are times that I might be going through something, and skateboarding can be very helpful. And there are also other times I'm going through parts of my life where I'm like, I gotta like take care of myself, and that sometimes includes like stepping away from skating and yeah, just getting your priorities in order. But I think ultimately it helps, and it definitely I know so many people who have benefited mentally from taking up a skateboard, whether they're a beginner or like one of the best in the world. It's really crazy.
Yeah, I would say the mental part of skateboarding is always there. It's almost feels like a roller coaster ride. Like sometimes you feel really good on your board and your head's really good. Injuries play into where your mentality goes and can really kind of challenge you in a new way. But yeah, a lot of stuff is in your head in skateboarding. I feel like 90% of skateboarding is confidence in your own self. And something that just like in life, it can be like ups and downs of that. So it's a constant like learning how to work with yourself, learning how to get yourself to commit to tricks and taking more risks and all the calculations. Like it's like a lot sometimes, but at the end of the day, you just know that you keep on trying, and it's pushing you to grow, in yourself. So it's like you got to look at it as positive.
Yeah, I'd almost add to that and say it almost forces people to become really self-aware, because if you're not kind of in tune with yourself and dealing with things head on, it's the difference between really getting hurt or not. And you start to bring that self-awareness there and know when to stop or like walk away, like Nora said, or when to commit. And you really get pretty fine-tuned over years doing that. That translates to other things in life. So it's really helpful in that way.
Yeah, I agree. And yes, skateboarding is like a confidence sport where people like can really like support on the physical and also like mental health support as well. And I think skateboarding is really fun. Like when we have like some challenge or like some like difficult thing to deal with, skateboarding we can skate around and like relax and like overcome like how do you say, like fear or something, like facing that. And also like it teach like how to fail, how to fall and how to get up at the same time. So this is really amazing sport.
I feel like the learning process never ends. Like I'm still like figuring out how to walk away from things when I've like been trying for 4 hours. Like it's just like constant learning and growing through it.
It's like all about resilience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perseverance. Sure.
Yeah, and especially one aspect that I really liked was that in the film, it focuses on social media, how that eventually became a tool to help you all get exposure, because it wasn't being given out as easily because, of course, the patriarchy. So I found it very interesting that it focused a lot on the tumbles and the falls that go into that one land that finally gets into Instagram or online. What led to including all of those? Because of course it does show that resilience and that perseverance, but was it more like a director's choice? Was there an input on your part that needed to be shown so that it doesn't seem like squeaky clean? Because sometimes we think that everything we see on social media is like, oh yes, that trick was landed on the first try.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, from the skater's perspective and from being involved in the film, it like wouldn't be authentic if we didn't include that. There's a huge misconception that, you know, we're not like Steph Curry, like making like an insane amount of free throws every time. We don't have like best out of whatever shots. Skateboarding is like totally based off of how often you're willing to go out of your comfort zone and like learn new things. I think, yeah, there's like natural flow to skating and like when you show up to a park and you're going around doing things, but like none of the best things I've ever done didn't come like every trick I've done that I'm truly proud of has come with pretty much hours and hours of failing, you know? So like all my best stuff is like 1 in like 190 like fails. So, and I think that's hard to compare to other things because you're like, how are you a professional if you're not consistent? And you're like, you are consistent. It's just not in the classic way. So it's extremely important to show that every time you skate, you slam.
That sums it up.
Definitely, yeah, well said, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely wouldn't be authentic if it didn't show us all how hard we worked and how much went into each trick. There's so many like places I've gone or like, yeah, you know, conversations I had with people where they like just think that, yeah, I just landed that and just like filmed it in like 10 minutes. And I'm like, no, that little Instagram clip, like hours. And sometimes you have to come back. Sometimes it's days. Like I've seen Nora battle things for like days and
Years.
Yeah,
years. Yeah, you never know. You never know when the try is going to be that is going to be the one. And you just gotta keep hope, you know.
Absolutely. And actually jumping in, a lot of you went from the student teacher pipeline in a way, be it as an actual coach, a teacher, or even as a role model to some people online. What was that transition like for your personal and your professional journey?
Maybe
You want me to go first? To me, it wasn't intentional, it just was happening, you know, it just seemed to happen. I mean, I've known these two since they were little. I mean, Nora, since you're probably about 16.
Yeah.
And Nicole, I met when she was 12. So yeah, I mean, it's like an extended family. You don't really think about it like that. There's like a humanitarian element to skateboarding. If you're like, I used to skate ramps. If you're on the ramp skating, you cheer for everyone else on the ramp with you. It's just part of the culture. So it's not, you know, something that's separated out. Like you're a coach if you go through this course and do this. It's really not like that. So yeah, I just say it's a very like encouraging, community-oriented activity.
Yeah, I think it's not different like coach or student, and also like it's not really looking to level how good. Oh, if you are coach, you have to skate like in high level or something, but it's based on experience and how the culture sharing, like cheering to each other, and also like helping in a way like encourage to each other. So yeah, this is something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I don't think I've talked about it before where I didn't think anyone would really care about my skateboarding. And I think that having more eyes on it and people who may come up to me and express that I'm a role model or somebody that they draw inspiration from, that's just like a bonus. I think it's just like a awesome, epic other part of what I do. But yeah, it's like natural to like embrace other skaters.
Yeah, no matter, there's like no age gaps really. It's not even really there. Like I can learn from girls that are way younger than me, and people that are way older than me can learn from me. It's almost like you're always at the same level as a skater. You all have like the same goals in a way to just progress and get better at what you love. So I feel like it's all very natural, no matter what you are. If you're an actual skater, if you're a coach, if you're, you know, mentor people, like you're almost all on the same level. It's just, you know, people get different things out of different people.
Absolutely. And finally, what is one thing you hope people take away from this film?
I'll just start. I mean, I would like people to appreciate it in like the intellectual way of just like the general knowledge. I think a lot of people haven't seen Teen Story and Mimi's story and Lisa's story. And I think it's vital to our community to like continue to like raise up women who came before us. And there's like so much of that that's been overdue. So I think that is kind of first and foremost is just creating some really solid groundwork for people to learn and understand. And then I think second is to like inspire and to get other people to just want to skate and be part of this epic community.
Nora said it really well. Yeah, like the education of it and knowing where skateboarding has come from for women, and how it got to where it is to be in this place that we're all sitting here and that this film came out, is really special. And yeah, I'm excited for everyone to learn about it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna second that as well. It's so much has happened in history as a way of getting lost. And so for me personally, I was excited to tell, the story of the X Games boycott and kind of the groundwork that was laid during that time. And then for, to have someone like Teen involved as well, it's, this is not just here in Southern California, this is a global activity with beautiful communities around the world. And I think it's important to show people that as well. And skateboarding is the language, like Teen said in the film. And yeah, it truly is. It's a way to bring people together.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that this film is go viral and hopefully people start to understand, start to accept like especially like women in sport, and also like we hope like everyone equal and understand each other.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's no boundaries,
Yeah.
no limits to skateboarding, nowhere you can't go, you can't have friends. It's really worldwide and really special.
Maybe no electric.
Absolutely.
That's kind of why.
Unless you're dirtboarding. I can hold a dirtboard.
Okay. That's different.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. Thank you so much for sharing your stories with us. And I can't wait to see where this goes. And I can't wait to see where your careers go.